I was swimming around today in my single tank wing and I felt a lot of gas go in my BC and I got really positively buoyant. What had happened is my low pressure inflator got stuck. So I'll connect it here. You can hear and see it just inflates. Disconnect it. It's actually leaking out of this right here. Now when this happened underwater, I did the same thing. I disconnected my low pressure inflator hose. I headed up to the surface, and once I got on the surface, I orally inflated my BCD, kept my mask on my face and my reg end. So overall, not a big deal, but I try to be diligent with washing these power inflators, and sometimes they just get gummed up and it's time to replace them. Now technically you can service these using a tool like this. You can take it apart and replace the O-rings and clean things up, but it's easier and cost effective to just replace the whole assembly. Now before I do that, let's take a look and see what this one looks like. This is the button assembly, which I just took out. And there's a little bit of corrosion in here and just some gunk. It's really not that bad, but regardless, it got stuck. I may toss this in and repair it later and use it as a backup. But for now, in order to go diving tomorrow, I'm just going to replace the whole assembly. Now, some use zip ties. This one has a little screw holder here. I can just pop this right off and put this new one in its place. Now, if you've got a pull dump exhaust here, you'll need to replace the pin as well, which attaches to the cable. This just slides into place and we screw this together to keep it there. It's very important to make sure the power inflator is secured onto the hose. If I forgot to put this piece or a zip tie on and I went diving and this popped off, I'd lose all ability to orally and power inflate this BC. Power inflators go bad occasionally, and in that case I keep a spare power inflator in my bag on the boat so I can replace mine or my friends if necessary. Like I mentioned earlier, it's cost effective just to replace the entire thing. I may keep this around for parts, but most likely I'm just going to toss that and replace it with a whole new power inflator assembly. If a power inflator does go bad, we always have the option to orally inflate. And that's especially important at the surface to establish positive buoyancy while waiting to get back on the boat. We never want to be sitting at the surface kicking to stay up. We would either want to ditch our weights or orally inflate our BC. But this is a pretty quick fix for a problem that happens every so often. This inflator was probably 2 years old, so it had a lot of dives on it. While I'm really diligent about rinsing it, which is evident because there's not a lot of corrosion in here, it still ended up going bad just from wear and tear. So as part of regular service, get these replaced, and keeping a spare on hand is a good idea as well. Now, if your power inflator does go bad and sticks, just like mine did today, it's really not that big of a deal. You should be able to disconnect the low pressure inflator hose, dump some gas from your BC to establish neutral buoyancy, signal to the buddy team, head up to the surface, and orally inflate once we get up to the surface. But we never want to start a dive with a bad power inflator. We don't want to go around orally inflating the whole dive. Power inflators are awesome tools. They're really easy. We don't need that extra task loading. So keeping an extra power inflator assembly in the Save a Dive kit or in the bag on the boat is a great idea for you or your dive buddy because it's a pretty simple, quick swap. Now, if you've got one that screws in like this, you're going to need a screwdriver that fits this smaller screw. A lot of them use zip ties instead of this. And you could always toss this in the dry bag, pop a zip tie or two on, and go back and do the dive. And then once you get back to the house, replace this. Hopefully that helps with replacing your power inflator, and thanks for watching.